I believe it's happening. I think it's happening. Yeah. All right, hey, it's happening. Welcome to yet another Pirates broadcast. It is I, your host, PoGokeRo. Yeah, this is kind of weird, right? Like another midweek broadcast. Check it out. Hello, welcome. It is I, PoGokeRo, and here I am at my creeper farm, ready to clean house. What the problem is, I've got like too many slides to show, and so what happens is on Sunday morning when I do my show. Oh, wait a minute. I end up going for like 2 hours. And I'm really tired, so I'm running out of gas at the end. And like, no one wants to hang out for 2 hours watching stuff. So, like, the thing is, like, no one hangs out anyways to watch stuff. But you know, all right. Look at this, spiders and everything everywhere. Like, what's going on? I gotta figure out where I wonder if there's a mod that will show me where the dark spots are, because there's not supposed to be any monsters anywhere on this island. So I must have, I don't know. I've been working in the mines. I worked on that stuff. I worked on that stuff over there, and that stuff over there. But I'll show you out in the show. The show. Oh, maybe that's why it's so laggy. Turn this off. I know it's beautiful, but it's laggy. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't want to. What do I show? All right, let's go somewhere not related to this. How about to the Blaze Farm? I probably should have went there before I did this, right? You would have thought. Blaze Farm. Okay, turn down. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, but this show is going to focus on Texas. Because Texas is in a world of hurt, and I don't want to be all like, ha, Republican Texas, you deserve it, because in reality, in truth, Texas is already blue. It's already blue. There's already a majority of Democrats as opposed to Republicans. The only problem is that Texas is heavily gerrymandered and vote restricted. It has vote restrictions to stop people from voting. It just stops people from voting. So, I don't know if you've noticed, but ever since the election, all these states have started to introduce bills that would restrict voting rights for people. In Georgia, in South Carolina, in Florida. Florida already did it. In Florida, right? In Florida, they, in 2019, they passed a law and an initiative, a voter initiative. The people willed it. The people wanted it. Like a super majority of people wanted it to allow ex-felons to vote again. And the Republican state legislature, which is gerrymandered, that's why they hold power, not because they have the most, but because they thwart democracy. So Republican legislature with a Republican court and a Republican governor made a new law saying, well, ex-felons can't vote until they pay back everything they owe the state. And you have to remember, if you're an ex-felon, you already have a hard time readjusting back into society. There's already a bunch of bad things on you that make it difficult for you to reintegrate back into society and be a productive member of society. The state places limitations upon you and stigma upon you so that it's difficult to reintegrate. And so in a lot of times when these people get out of jail, out of prison, when they serve their time, when they're done, they have absolutely nothing, and so they can't just go get a job, because most jobs are like, oh, you're an ex-felon, we don't want you. Like, it's like really, really hard, right, to survive. And so now the state is saying, well, now you can't vote unless you pay this poll tax. They can't do it. They can't do it. It's aimed specifically at them, no one else, just at them. And it's a poll tax. And the Republican Supreme Court said, no, it's not. Ah! So you have to look at Republicans being as being synonymous with fascism, with the Confederacy, with white supremacy. They're all like bound together. I mean, I call them Nazis, but like that's not really accurate. I mean, it's more accurate to call them like white supremacists. Like, what? What? What's going on? Oh, there's a bunch of wither skeletons over there, but first I need to get rid of this guy. Hey. Alright, you're done. Ow. Ow. So wither skeletons are like not fun, but they drop wither skulls, and the skulls allow you to summon a wither, and defeat the wither, you get a beacon. I've already got enough to summon them again, but you know, I could always use more. For multiple locations, so I don't have to cart it around everywhere. Okay, this is garbage. Garbage! String is always useful. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, white supremacy. White supremacy, fascism, Nazism, it's all the same thing. It's all fascism. That's what I should do. I should make the chart of how everything's like interconnected. That's a really brilliant idea, and I should do it with item frames. And colored wool. Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, awesome. Great idea. Because yeah, white supremacy, it's like, okay, according to the Platonic forms, right? We're going all the way back to the ancient Greece, to Plato, right? Because like I'm speaking to the Western audience, and the Western audience traces itself back to the ancient Greece. And ancient Greece, you know, and the West thinks highly of Plato. And Plato had this system of this division between the world of appearances and the world of what he called the forms, right? Quote, quote. But what he's talking about are ideas. But the technical word he uses is form. But that's just going to confuse things. So I'm going to say the world of ideas. He had his world of appearances and the world of ideas. And for Plato, the world of ideas was more real than the world of appearances. All this stuff here, what you can reach with your senses. He had a different perspective of what is real, right? But for him, the idea is what's the real thing. And everything we see in the world of appearances is just a projection, a holographic projection of that idea. So that you can have the idea of a thing, and it is never exhausted because it lives in the world of ideas. It's never, ever, ever exhausted. It's never used up. You can never destroy it. It's an idea, right? You can't destroy an idea. So, but you can make endless projections of that idea. So I will give you an example. Chair. Like, you know, everyone knows the idea of chair. All right? A chair is something you sit on to rest. But a chair can be anything. There's so many different forms of chair. I'm sitting in a chair, but the ground can also be a chair. A rock could be a chair. You know, a bed could be a chair. Anything can be a chair. There's different, like, it's projected into the world of appearances differently every time. But just because you project it into the world of appearances doesn't mean that it's locked into that appearance. It can be projected as a different appearance and still be projected from the same thing. So you have the same source, right? So if this is the idea of chair, and I make a chair out of wood, I make a chair, chair. That is projected from the world of ideas into the world of appearances. But this does not lock every iteration, every expression of the idea of chair. I can come over here and be like, chair, oh, and I would be right. Because it's a projection of the idea of chair into the material world, right? This is like a block. I can't cross it, right? This is over there's the idea, and over here's the appearance. So here's the chair I can feel and touch and sit in, right? And here's the chair I can feel and touch and sit in. But over there, that is the idea of chair. That sits in a different place that I can't touch with my hands. I can't see with my eyes. I can't sit on with my butt. Okay. So think of fascism as the same thing, right? Fascism is the worship of power. Power is above everything. Fascism is power. I mean, it looks like despotism. It looks like different things. And like, yeah. And so I might be using fascism as a, I don't know. I just want to call it fascism. I want to call it fascism. That's its present day iteration. That's the idea that we're working with, is fascism. And I don't, like, you can say that Donald Trump is not an ideological fascist. He's not wedded to the idea of fascism. No, he's what he is. He's a member of the transnational crime syndicate that Sarah Kendzior discusses in her books. So he's a criminal. He's a crook, and it's oligarchy. I mean, if you want to get technical about it, in that sense. But when you add in racism and the racial caste system of the United States, that ideology is kind of fascist. It's fascist. That's a fascist ideology, and Donald Trump subscribes to it. Donald Trump is a raging racist. He's a racist, absolute racist, Donald Trump. So he ascribes to that ideology, even if it's subconscious. Even if he's not like consciously saying this is the way. Like he believes it because he manifests it. So just like you had like this, and I'd be like, haha, Nazi. Ugh, that's just a projection of fascism, right? Because over here you had fascista from Italy, right? That was just a projection of fascism. And over here, you had I don't know, Japanese imperialism, like Japanese racism, right? That's just one version. And then you have over here, you have white supremacists, American Confederates, white supremacies, right? And then over here, you have your British shit, and over here you have your French shit, and over here you have your Dutch shit. Everyone's got shit. Almost everyone. A lot of people got shit, you know? A lot of people. But they're all projections. All of this is are projections from the idea of fascism into our material world. Cha-ching. So even if you snuff it out over here, pop, it's gone over here. Doesn't mean it's gone. The idea is still there, right? You can never crush the idea. Never. The idea is in Plato's form. The idea is immutable, timeless, like indestructible. Like it doesn't exist on the same plane of existence as our material world, where we anchor our consciousness a lot of the times. I can't make this go too long. I'm talking too much. Because there's another thing at 1 o'clock I have to go to. Not that I'm going anywhere, right? I'm just gonna log into a different website. But here, let me show you the Texas thing, right? There's just too much of Texas, and I'm going too long as it is. Why do I have Murdoch in Texas? I don't know. All right. What does that say? The Electric Reliability Council of Texas said the grid lost some 34,000 megawatts of power. Energy sources powering the grid were knocked offline, most of which were powered by natural gas, coal, or nuclear energy. Okay, so that's to debunk the idea that it's the Green New Deal that's killing Texas. No, dudes, it's Texas is powered by fossil fuels. 2. Dan Crenshaw blaming California for Texas failing to provide electrical and water for millions of its residents during a severe weather crisis. For your information, GOP, Republicans, controls all 3 centers of state power in Texas: governor, state house, and Senate. Maybe look a little closer to home, right? Because Dan Crenshaw is trying to blame green energy, but Dan Crenshaw is a Nazi. He's a Republican, so he's a fascist. He doesn't subscribe to truth, only power. Okay, so 2.1. Look at this one. So look at this. Jerry Jones' company hits jackpot as harsh storms send natural gas prices surging. All right. So yeah, they're hitting the jackpot. Natural gas drillers are hitting the jackpot right now. Prices for natural gas are through the roof, right? Look. Prices for natural gas are through the roof. Look at the price for it normally. And then all of a sudden, whoa! Like 1,000%. 1,000%. Holy crap. But wait a minute. The governor of Texas went on Fox News to talk about the Green New Deal. He was telling local reporters that natural gas pipelines were frozen, right? But over here, the governor. So what's happening is the governor of Texas is telling Fox News that it's the Green New Deal that was the problem, but then he's telling local reporters that it's the natural gas pipelines that are the problem. So he's telling 2 different stories. A different story to Fox News that he's telling to the local reporters. The Republican governor, Abbott. I think his name is Abbott. About 80% of Texas power grid is fueled by nuclear, coal, and natural energy. Only about 7% are wind turbines and renewables. And those 2, yes, have frozen, but they can be winterized to be ready for this type of weather. Indeed, most of the 20 gigawatt deficit doesn't come from wind. Wind output is only 2.6 gigawatt below normal. Most of the deficit comes from a loss of natural gas. So why is Texas having such a hard time? Look at this map of the power grid. All right, on the yellow you have the Western Interconnect. So all these states help each other out with power. They all provide power to one another. So if one state goes down, if one area goes down, other states can kick in to help them out. And then on the eastern side, you have the other side where all these guys help each other out to kick in. But look at Texas. Texas is all by itself. It's got nobody to help it. It is all by itself. Why is Texas all by itself? To avoid regulation. El Paso, Texas is on the national grid and still has power. Cities on the Texas grid are struggling without power and heat. Because it is on the national grid, El Paso gets energy from plants with winterized regulations. Texas grid deregulated, so no winterizing. People are dying for Republican philosophies. What is natural gas? How is it produced? And why can't anyone get any of it? A 3-minute story. This guy explains it. But basically, what natural gas is how you get it is it's stuck in little pockets, because it's shale, right? What they're getting natural gas from is from shale. What is shale? Shale is rock with bubbles, lots of bubbles in it, right? And these tiny little bubbles have natural gas in it. But because they're stuck in like rock bubbles, they can't flow. They're stuck in rock bubbles. So what they do with fracking is they drill down into this shale, and then they push down into it water and other stuff, crap. They just shove crap down in there in order to break up the bubbles, to break up the rock. And when the rock is broken up, all the rock bubbles are broken up, and all the natural gas that's inside the little bubbles gets released and mixes up with the rock and the water that was shoved down there to break up all the rock to begin with. So what they have to do is drag all that stuff up. So here, this way. Let me use this, right? That's why I have this. So here they're breaking. Here they're. I have to hold it. Okay. Here they're shattering the shale, the rock, and the natural gas is all flowing in with the water, and all that water and the natural gas is being pumped back up, but it's all like mixed up with crap, so it has to be pumped over to be purified so you can use it, because you can't use it right now. So what they do is they ship it over along pipes, gas pipelines, over to the refinery to get purified. You take out the water, and then you send the gas to homes to heat, and then the rest of it you send to power plants, right? But along this pipeline to do this, it's so cold in Texas that the water that's mixed up with the gas starts freezing, and when it freezes, then you can't. Then it doesn't. Then the gas can't flow. If the gas can't flow, then it can't make it to the power plant or to people's homes. It can't get purified and then sent to the power plant. So it's just stuck out in the fields, basically, all over the place, all over Texas, because Texas never winterized. The same thing happened 10 years ago, and they were told, you guys need to winterize. And Texas said, no way. This is a once in 100 years thing. We don't need to do it. Well, guess what, guys? Climate change. Once in 100 years is once every 10 years. And pretty soon, it's going to be once every 5 years. So, Wall Street Journal also says the failure of the Texas grid was across the board, with far more thermal capacity coming offline than wind. Right. It's due to natural gas. All right. Oh my God. Okay, Mr. Hogan, a professor of global energy policy at Harvard's Kennedy School, acknowledged that while many Texans have struggled this week without heat and electricity, the state's energy market has functioned as it was designed. That design relies on basic economics. When electricity demand increases, so too does the price for power. The higher price forces consumers to reduce energy use to prevent cascading failures of power plants that could leave the entire state in the dark, while encouraging power plants to generate more electricity. It's not convenient, Professor Hogan said. It's not nice. It's necessary. So this is this guy, Mr. Hogan. Professor Hogan. Professor Hogan at Harvard is the architect and chief advocate of Texas's energy-only market design. He thought a time of scarcity and the very high prices it engenders could be used to fund capital expenditures at power plants. So he wrote a big fat paper about it at Harvard. And he designed the Texas system to work this way. So what is capital expenditure? Capital expenditures are money that businesses use to like maintain or to expand. So you upgrade your machines, you maintain your machines, you harden your machines, you winterize your machines, you upgrade. That's capital expenditures. Capital expenditures contrast with operating expenditures, which okay, so I got it wrong. So capital expenditures is the money an organization or corporate entity spends to buy, maintain, or improve its fixed assets, such as buildings, vehicles, equipment, or land. It is considered a capital expenditure when the asset is newly purchased or when money is used toward extending the useful life of an existing asset, such as repairing the roof or winterizing pipes. I get it. So he's like, hey, these periods of increased prices will help fund the winterizing, the hardening of the energy system. And Rick Perry said Texans are willing to die to make sure that the Texas energy system, Rick Perry is willing to let Texans die to make sure that Texas's energy system remains independent from regulation. The people, the billionaires, the millionaires, the billionaires who own the Texas energy, Rick Perry is going to let Texans die to make sure those guys earn a profit. Rick Perry will kill Texans to make sure that billionaires earn a profit. Rick Perry will kill Texans to make sure billionaires earn a profit. Oh, that's Ted Cruz. Ha ha ha. How did that get in there? Yeah, so, yeah, drone company making big money, dude. They're making big money. Big money, big money. Okay, so what happened? So over here, Brea Johnson. So turning off the water and power in Texas was a decision. This isn't like a power outage due to an issue. And then, yeah, that's exactly what happened. The water went out because they turned the power off. And they turned the power off because they didn't prepare for the winter. And they didn't prepare because they were cutting costs for profit. Back when this happened last time, instead of using the money that they made from the last time this happened to winterize their stuff, you know, like the guy said they would, you know, he's like, oh, look, they made a bunch of money in 2011 when the last time this happened. They should use that money as capital for their capital expenditures to improve their stuff. But no, what they did is they used it for profit. They kept it. Governor Abbott signed an executive order just 8 days into the president's term to direct every state agency to challenge any federal action that jeopardizes Texas's energy sector. The Republicans are willing to kill Texans to make sure that billionaires keep their profits. Oh yeah, hey. Companies are sitting on cash, but hold on, that's another thing. Okay. But yeah, guys, yeah. It's no joke. Like, this isn't an accident, is what I'm saying. It's not an accident. They didn't go, oops, we didn't know. This happened last time in 2011. The same thing. And the way the market is designed is that the way that they think, Republicans think, is that, oh, well, those energy companies made a bunch of money because the price of natural gas were really high. So they're going to use that money to make sure that everything keeps working the next time. Nope. They just kept it. And so it happened again. And it's going to keep happening over and over and over again. And Republicans, you look at the leaders of Republican Party. They are willing to let Texans die to make sure that the billionaires keep those profits. Because regulation would say you got to winterize. You have to spend money to winterize your stuff so that it doesn't happen again. And the Republicans in Texas are saying, nope, we are going to let Texans die before you make these billionaires pay money to improve their stuff. They're evil. I'm telling you. Right? Yeah, they may not be German and saying Heil Hitler, but they're still but there's still a flavor of Nazi, right? Yeah, what's happening in Texas is not an accident. They don't want to move to natural gas because the people who have all the power in Texas get their money from natural gas. And it's pretty obvious because the government of Texas is doing everything it can to defend hydrocarbons, oil. It's doing everything it can to defend oil. So that tells you who controls the government in Texas. It's not the people. Yeah, Texas is a bad state. I mean, not the people, right? There's a lot of good people in Texas, but like the government, it's controlled by bad people. Need to put a roof on this or something. What? How? Oh, because it's not a solid block. It has to be solid. Okay. Huh. Okay, so technically, these guys should be going into a nether portal, and then in the nether they should be getting cooked. And then drop their stuff. But I don't think it's, for some reason, it's not as efficient as I thought it would be. Maybe because I'm just spoiled from hitting things with a looting 3 sword. But yeah, so I'm flying above a pyramid here. That's an underwater pyramid. And in that pyramid, there are 3 guardians, large elder guardians. And these elder guardians put out a bad aura, so that a weakness aura, so that I can't mine. I can't use my pickaxe. So I have to go through the water, under the water. I can't mine my way through to make a shortcut. I have to like go through the maze of the temple, find the 3 elder guardians, and kill them to release the aura. And all the while being attacked by these guys. Yeah, because they maintain the temple, the underwater temple, and in the center of the temple is the heart of gold. It's the vault. It's a cube of gold. It's pretty cool. Well, if you're gold poor, it's really good. I am not gold poor, but you know. Instead, I like farming these guys for their so I can make glow sea lanterns and other nice blocks. Okay, so what other thing do I have to show you? Oh, I thought I had something here and I can't find it. But Texas was gonna pass on the cost from the plants onto the consumer. They had to pass a law to make sure that happened, because otherwise yeah, they're waiting for me. Look at that. Psych. Just kidding. Ha ha ha. Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on? Oh no. What's happening, guys? What's happening, guys? Ooh. Come on down, there you are. Burn! Oh, wait, I want their membrane, so I can make a slow fall potion. It's actually unnecessary now. Look at this. Look at this. Never mind. Just falling into the ocean. All right. Okay. Bernie Sanders, gavel in hand, lays out an unabashedly liberal economic agenda. I am telling you, there are forces out there that want you to believe that your vote doesn't matter. Those forces are lying to you. Your vote does matter. And I'm going to show you right here why it matters. Bernie Sanders was voted into office. He's been there for 3 decades. But this is the first time in 3 decades that he is finally in a position to wield power. After 3 decades by Mike DeBonis, after 3 decades in Congress, he's the new chairman of the Senate Budget Committee. And the first hearing on February 25th, that's in 5 days, guys, 5 days, pay attention. There's going to be a hearing called "Why Should Taxpayers Subsidize Poverty Wages at Large Profitable Corporations?" He wants to ask why people work full-time at Walmart and then go and apply for food stamps. He wants to ask the CEOs of corporations why that the government has to subsidize the corporation by giving its workers food stamps. Why isn't the corporation paying the workers enough money? He wants to ask. And I don't know if these CEOs are going to show up, but you should show up because Bernie Sanders will be chair, and he is great. And he's there because Democrats finally got control of the Senate because people overcame the endless vote suppression of the Republicans. Republicans are anti-America. You have to remember, you have to know this. Republicans are anti-American. Republicans are anti-American at this point. They're anti-American. You can't get around it. They're anti-American. They want to thwart democracy, and democracy is American. So they want to thwart America. So you watch Bernie Sanders on February 25th, and you will see the power of your vote. Yeah, don't believe the cynics. Cynics want you to believe that your vote doesn't count. But if your vote didn't matter, they wouldn't try so hard to take it away from you. So they only pop in for like a second up here. I'm like, what's going on, guys? Are you like there or not? And I go up one more stop, like block, and then like there's tons of them. I just don't get it. Black women. Give it up for black women. Black women are beautiful. Black women are great. Black women are powerful. Black women are magnificent, graceful, poignant, beautiful. I already said beautiful. Oh. Mysterious, divine. Black women. Oh, don't look in the sun. No! Yeah, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. What happened? Okay. Open widget. I have a widget. What's this? Oh, wait. What's going on? I don't know. There it goes. Now it's back to normal. Cold Pop-Tart, man. What kind of lame breakfast is this? At 11 something? Like, come on. I got, what else I got? Bernie 3. Yeah. On March 17th, we have another hearing on income and wealth inequality. On March 24th, making corporations and the wealthy pay their fair share of taxes. April 14th, the cost of climate change. So, as chairman of Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Subcommittee, he also plans to hold a hearing later this year on prescription drug prices. It remains unclear whether McDonald's and Walmart executives Sanders has invited next week's hearing will appear. One who has agreed to testify is Craig Jellican of Costco, which is known for paying its workers higher than average wages and benefits. So what do we got here? So Republicans have tended to focus on curbing government spending, while not true. Well, kind of. Okay. While Democrats have urged the need to maintain revenue. So what Republicans want to do is cut taxes for the rich, and then say, "Oh, we have to stop spending on the people because we don't have money anymore because we cut taxes for the rich." Democrats say, "No, we need to get money so we can fund these programs. We need to tax the rich to get these programs." So while Sanders has declared some concern about national debt that has soared past $20 trillion, his greater worry is about American underclass, that the federal government is failing to help. His Republican sparring partner on the panel is Senator Lindsey Graham, who has been more prominent in recent years for his up-and-down relationship with former President Donald Trump. So I don't know. Graham doesn't seem like he's very reliable. I don't really trust him. But what I'm saying, but we don't need him, right? Because Democrats control everything, so they don't really need any Republicans whatsoever. What I'm trying to say is that your vote matters, and that we're going to see it mattering with Bernie Sanders being the chairman of this committee. I mean, you can already see that he already lined up are these incredibly crazy hearings. I don't know, man. I'm going to tune in. It should be interesting because this is government working for you, for me, for us, instead of for the corporations. I mean, it's a huge mech, right? The way I look at the federal government, it's a giant mech. Some people want to destroy the mech, but why? It's a great mech. You just have to control it. It's like an Eva unit, a Neon Evangelion. It's an Eva unit. And it's made of humans. Yeah, it's alive. It's made of humans because humans make up the government. All right, well, let's see. I'm going to go for another 10 minutes, right? Because we need 1 hour. Who benefits from a higher minimum wage? So the white supremacists will have you think teenagers, who is the people who benefit from a higher minimum wage. Teenager who works part-time after school, who lives with his parents, and is just earning extra money. That's who they think is going to be helped by minimum wage. But actually, the average age of a person making minimum wage is 35 years old. 90% of the people who are making minimum wage are not teens. Teens are only 10%. The other 90% are people older than 20. 59% of these people are women. 28% of these people making minimum wage and are older than 20 have children. And more than half of them work full-time at minimum wage. Essential and frontline workers make up a majority of those who would benefit. So if you want to boost the economy, the way you do it is you increase the minimum wage. You lift up the floor. You pick up people off the floor. Like, I don't know. This doesn't seem like it'd be revolutionary ideas. It's something like, it just seems like be common sense. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Maybe that's why I need someone else here to talk to me, to tell me like why they would think the other way. Average evening wait times in Georgia primary. In white areas, it was 6 minutes. In non-white areas, it was 51 minutes. Why? Because the government in Georgia is controlled by white supremacists. This is what it looks like when your government is controlled by white supremacists. This person lives in Sweden. They have Social Security, affordable health care, strict gun laws, 5 weeks of paid annual leave, and a year of maternity leave. A stay at the hospital for one night costs about $10. Prescription drugs have an annual cap of $210. We're not a communist country or even strictly socialist. We're socio-democratic and our freedoms are not inhibited. If you don't believe her, ask her, talk to her. I've been to Sweden. I've been there. I didn't live there. I was only there for like 2 weeks. But I've been there, and it's fantastic. I mean, God, I was in there in the dead of winter. I was in there for Christmas and New Year's. I was in Stockholm. And another town called Skövde. Skövde. And yeah, they had like, I mean, it was cold and dark and snowy. Stockholm was real nice. Like, I don't remember how much stuff cost. It was all in kroner, and like I was like, oh, like I think it was expensive, but everything looked nice, and like no one, it didn't look like anybody was stressed out. Maybe bored. No. Sweden was great. Yeah, dude, I dig Sweden. That was a great time. I need to go there in the summer times, I guess. I hear it's totally different in the summer. They have they have a big party for the summer solstice. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm down for that. Like a party for actual like cosmic things that are, I mean, like celestial things. Like that's awesome. Because yeah, the solstice and the equinoxes, those are actual things. Like we are actually our relationship to the sun is actually like significant. So like it makes sense to like want to like mark each of those like great moments of equality, or like, and then like maximum and minimum, and like yeah. GOP. In 2018, Republicans called Ronald Reagan the best president in U.S. history. In 2021, it's Donald Trump. That's amazing. It's like a cult. It's like a cult. They're literally trying to overthrow the government. Boebert and Alex Jones, they're literally trying to overthrow the government. They're enemies of the United States. Look at her gun. Look at. She has this in her house, right? This is in her house. It's just on the bookshelf. It's not on a gun rack. It's on a bookshelf, and it's loaded. Dog, what are you doing with 2 loaded assault rifles sitting on a bookshelf in your house? Just sitting there, in your house. Like gun log? I don't see a gun log. I don't see anything on there. They're loaded guns sitting on a unsecured bookshelf. Death cult. Death cult. They are in the service of death. What did you expect? Dems make half-hearted attempts at challenging GOP, followed by statements about wanting a strong Republican Party, and then express shock and outrage when Republicans emerge emboldened, sinking their heels in and laying groundwork for the next atrocity. Y'all aren't tired of the cycle? Folks get upset with people like me who criticize Dems for being enablers of fascism this weekend, then turn around and get upset Monday morning when former Trump officials are getting image rehab on American Idol. Tim Scott is all in. Burr is censured by the North Carolina Republicans, and Meghan McCain downplays the threat. What did you expect? If Dems indicate impeachment isn't worth extending past Valentine's Day or calling witnesses over, Pelosi says she wants a strong Republican Party, and Biden admin keeps saying they just want to turn the page on Trump, why wouldn't Trumpism emerge even stronger? Folks keep refusing to listen to experts on fascism and authoritarianism. That's how we ended up with 500,000 dead from COVID, an insurrection at the Capitol, and a temporarily displaced aspiring dictator lying in wait with enough influence to still control a major party. She is telling the truth. Our major systemic issues have not at all been solved. The immediate threat of fascist takeover has been belayed for a bit, right? But they're coming back for sure. You know this. They are for sure coming back. For sure. Because look, there have been no consequences. And the way Democratic leadership has been acting is showing me that they don't quite understand the scope of the issue facing the nation. I mean, if they did, then they would have went for $2,000 checks monthly. And I understand that it's a weakness, not of. I understand that the Democrats are a mosaic coalition, and that they're only as strong as their most rightward senator, and that would be Manchin. Because if Manchin doesn't go along with it, he vetoes everything. And Manchin represents a very conservative state. Like, he's an aberration. Like, he probably ought not be there, but like, I don't know why he is, so he's there. But that's another reason why we need to get past the first past the post system, so that we can institute proportional representation. Because it's silly to have to rely on your most conservative member to pass legislation. If you want to defeat fascism, give every American $2,000. Right? The weaker Americans are, the more susceptible they are to fascism, to be corrupted. And the way you weaken Americans is by not giving them power or food or water, and then charging them outrageous prices for natural gas, and then letting the billionaires pocket all the money. And then the government vowing to protect billionaires and letting Texans die to protect those billionaires. That's how you get fascists. All right, that's my time. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you soon.